Hey everybody, Big Papa's Adventures back again. Today we're going to clean up this mess of this truck from the other week. It's pretty dirty, so we're going to have to do a bunch of cleaning. The bed's filthy, the interior, I've done some of the outside already. Once we get it cleaned up inside and out, the front wheel bearings need to be greased. Anytime you go running around out in the water, deep water, your bearings and your hubs will get contaminated with water. So you need to change it, clean them. It sucks, but it's part of the, having fun in the woods with water. You got to clean up your messes and you got to check your bearings. This thing, when we put it on the trailer, there was water coming out of the pinion seal. There was water coming out of the open axle, the ends of where the joints are by the wheels. That open area, those had water coming out of them, and it was not pretty water, it was nasty. So we're going to be cleaning it up and greasing the bearings in the front. And the front pinion, I'm going to have to drain the differential, because if it's coming out all those places, it's going to be full of water as well. And we don't want it to rust and get nasty. So, well, let's get at it. This, unfortunately, is how bad the bed gets. The radiator's all covered and all those expensive stickers that I got. Yeesh. So the back end needs a bath, real bad. If you're wondering what that big hole is, I used to have stacks in this thing. There's another one over that way. Might be putting stacks back on it. But yeah, that's my mess I got to clean up. So I'm going to wind up putting this thing on time lapse, and we're going to get after it. In here, get rid of some of this mud. Ugh, God, that gets in there good too. The joys of having a bunch of them. Yay. Yeah, buddy, we just having a good time. It's only like 110 degrees, or feels like 110 degrees out here in Florida. Woo! Lord have mercy. Oh, there's that. Yeah, we just have fun cleaning. I hate doing it, but when we get done with this cleaning crap, it's going to be the wheel bearing. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Can't wait to get all greasy and nasty. Alright. Now, I'm going to do the floor on this side. Then I'll move everything over to that side. Yeah. For the Mouse Sucker 500. Now for that side, rinse and repeat. Woo! Lordy. I'm leaking. Gotta love this hot Florida weather. Yay. Good enough for the girls I date. Little arrowhead I got when I was out in New Mexico a few years back. On this little gold heart out there too in the desert. Crazy, man. Crazy. All right. Well, I'll show you what the rear end looks like the bed, and then we're going to start on the wheelbarrow. Yeehaw! This kid crazy. Oh, if I can only get out of here alive. Well, would you look at that? Would you just look at that? Oh, that sand is good. Yeah. It needs a soapy bath, but it's going out soon, so we don't need to get too crazy with it. It's good enough for now. Hey everybody, now we're done the interior. Now we're going to do the fun part. We're going to take tires off, pull the hubs apart, clean the bearings, put them back in. Yeah. Lucky today it's only 110 degrees feel like out. So with the fan running, it should not be too bad. So let's get with it. Alright. We gotta make that thing go away. So bam. And bam. There it is. Done. Now, let's get ready to tear this thing apart. Alright. First things first. You gotta get the caliper off. Yep. And this kind has a pin and a little slide wedge. Well, you turn it a little fast. Gotta get the gun in the right way first. Pop that doodad out, put him right there. Use a chisel and a hammer. Just tappity tap, tap, tappity tap, tap all the way out. Well, Bingo. It's just like that. That comes off. It says over there. See how easy that was? Oh, they just look so easy. So, now here's the hub. Find your little Allen wrenchy. I think it's this one. Maybe. Maybe not. Yep, that's it. Yay. Kind of like I've done this 1,000 times. Wasn't long ago when we seen me putting this together using a special little spacer shim or spacer to make these hubs work. Boy, did that idea work great. Took it out in the woods and had a ball. No problems with hubs being engaged. That 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive shifter I put in it. It works super. If I drop that one more time, I'm going to lose my mind. This is the way we remove the hubs, remove the hubs. One, two, three. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Which YouTube would allow us to play music whatever we wanted without worrying about copyright infringements. You can listen to the radio, you should be able to listen to anything. And voila! Here's that little shim I made. It engages the gear into there. Sweet! Well, I think maybe I can get that out. Got a screwdriver though. Okay. Okay, the morning. Now, back to my favorite stool. Where's the gap? That's not the gap. Yep, that's the gap. Push it under. Pull it over. Bam! One clip removed. Yeah. Icky poo. Now, pull this out. La la la. La 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 la. Now, well, what did I forget? I forgot to clip inside. How dare you? How dare you? Okay. Oh, here we go again. Let's get rid of a little bit of this yuckiness. It took on some water, that's for sure. Okay. Well, where are you tonight? Aha! just found it. Going to be fun. Not. These clips are always a pain in the royal behind. Let me get this out and I'll get right back with you. Okay, after a little fight, half of my tools out of my toolbox, I got this thing out. They're fun. Not really, I'm just deranged. So now we got all that apart. You grab up 2 screws out the hub. I like one in the bottom. Diagonally to the top. I've also already got that gear out of there, so that's out of my way already. And we just slide that joker out. This was that red pinkish grease. Look at all the brown. That's mud. Muddy water, sand. No bueno. That's why we clean them. Tear them apart and clean them. And now, for the next part, getting the nuts off for the bearings. And I don't think that's the right one. So, I've only got about 15 different sizes of these damn sockets. Maybe. Yahtzee. Yeah. Do 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 do. Ah. And just like that. Come to Papa. Bada bing. There's 2 of them. One's a lock nut. Okay, somebody steal my other nut out of there? What the same heck is going on in there? See what this hoochie mama looks like. Yeah, it is. So, this should be right there. How odd. Oh. Maybe I'm boo-booing. Yep, I'm boo-booing. There's a washer in there. You gotta get that washer out. Like a dinghy. Yeah, come here. Why is this not moving? More catastrophes. Well, let me grab one of my hooks. We're talking. There we go. There we go. The little SOB. Now, where were we? Fits when you get all the crap out of it. And just like that. Voila. Come, my child, to little papa. Come on. You can do up, bud. Give me the hook. Here's the hook. Bingo. I'm curious to see what this inner bearing is going to look like. Will it be scary? Well, I think this is the sign that I had way too much grease in it. Rather have too much than not enough. Alright. Well, it needs to come out. Sure does. Yeah, there's water coming out of the other side. That's the part I don't like. Okay, let's wash her out with kerosene and throw it right back together. Different in color. Well. Let me see. What are we going to do here? Let me get a couple things to clean up. Okay, we're going to try a little experiment here. I've never done it, so I'm going to try it. On a way to remove the seal and the bearing in the back. Well, whoa, Wilbur. I just wiped a bunch of that off of here. Yeah, let's see what this works. Yeah, it did. Oh. Oh, yeah.
Ew.
Gee, that's what I said. Alrighty, well. Yeah. Let me clean all this mess up and I'll get back to you when it's time to pack the bearings. Okay, everybody. We got the bearings cleaned up, the seal valve cleaned up, the nuts and washers all cleaned up, all these other first internal parts going in. Got them cleaned up. Time to pack them. This is what I use. This little thing here, before I retired, we were doing generators, big generators run 7-Eleven stores. We had these big generators with 4 axles or 4 tires on them, 4 set of wheel bearings. So this did a crap load of bearings, and it does all my stuff at home now. So I found out that using this is better than putting the grease on your palm of your hand and then dabbing it in slowly. These I can just take, set the bearing in it, push it, it packs them, done. Simple and easy. A lot less messy, especially for me. So I'll show you here how they work. Oh, you gotta take this thing out. So you take this doodad off, like that. And I like to set them on the floor. Set it on the floor. With your bearing like this, you just drop it down inside. Just like that. Now you take your little, whatever you want to call this stupid thing, you just put it in there and you push on it. Doo-doo, doo-doo. Just like that, it's full of grease. You just reach in there. Yeah, camera glitch. But just like that, it's all packed full of grease. Now, we'll smear it around. Alright, so I went ahead, put the bearing in there, put the seal back in. Now, let's do the outer bearing. Needs to be greased. So let's prepare this joker to do the same. Okay, where you go, little bastard? Yeah, right there. That in there. Oh, for crying out loud. joys of using old t-shirts for rags. Alright, here we go. And we rockin'. Keep on rockin'. Rockin' me, baby. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Okay, so that bearing's in. I got that hanging there, so I put the hub on. Okay, so I've already put the inner bearing in place. Now it's time to tighten them. If I can find. No. Doing it on this angle is turning out to be a real pain in the ass. Yeah, let's see if we can speed this up a little bit. Now let's get the preload. I like going back and forth on them. Come on, get back on there. These one times like to be tight. So here you go with that one. Alright, boys and girls, now we're going to put this thing together after the outer parts have been cleaned. That's all nice and pretty. We put this in here. like that. Now, you have to pull your axle back here in the back of the housing, the hub area, push it out so you can get it in there good. Whew. Another hot day in Central Florida. Okay, so not so necessary, but I like to do it anyway. This gear that goes in there, good depth grease around it. Makes it feel loved. I've always over coated them, but not today. And we'll put a little bit in here. A little dab of douche. Get a little more. There we go. We'll just smear it in there. Kind of protect it from the water. Because we know, me, I'm going to be in the water again. Very, very, very soon. Just like that. Like that. Some of you are probably saying, hey man, there's supposed to be like a spring-loaded thing that goes in the back of that. No, I eliminated it. Remember, this hub is now a full-time hub. I just used the hub for, in case something was to break, at least it'll break and not everything else. Bam, just like that. Again, make sure your axle's out, make sure that clip is on, because it was not on. Bam, now it's on. Now, not that. It's to be on. It's about time to replace that thing. Next time I get into this thing, I'm going to be replacing that clip. Get a newer one, nice and tighter. Give her a little cleanie. Okay, now the fun part. This little doodad right here is what makes it a full-time hub now. I had it that way. Yep, that's the way I had it, that way. Oh, little bitty Phillips screw. This screw, I'm putting it in anyway, whether it needs it or not. It's what holds that inner gear in place. So, just to say it's there, it's there. Now, the fun part. The fun part. Putting this goofy thing back in. Always have this out to where that's up high. That way when you get it done, it's going to wind up where you can get it out. I recommend kind of clocking it. See these holes? Try to get that to line up in the middle. We want to install about right here. So get your ass in there. And they're fun to put in. You just gotta fold them backwards. Ooh, down in there. Oh, it was a fight to get out. I guess it's gonna be a fight to get back in. Hold up, let me get a flat blade screwdriver. Okay, try again. son of a gun didn't come out where I wanted it. Means we need to rotate it a little more. The thing about putting this clip in is you gotta get it started and push it down inside it. And then it goes in kind of easier. Back in my young days of doing this, they just had a metal snap ring looking thing. And that was one, hard to find. Harder than a son of a gun to get out. These ain't much better, but in the way they are. If that makes any kind of sense. Then you take a screwdriver. Bam, it's in there. Just go around, make sure it's seated nice. Now, the fun part. Time to put on the hubs. So, grab the hub like so. Yeehaw, what fun do we have? Now, I'm not going to show it, but I do have to do the other side and straighten the differential over there. I'm not going to bother showing that. You've suffered enough watching this much already. And you already know how tires go on and off and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to bother boring you with that. But just always keep in mind, if you're like going out in the woods, playing in the mud, playing in all that water and all that fun yucky stuff, you need to clean your bearings. If you don't clean them, they can fail, they can lock up, and if you're way out in the woods like I get sometimes, you don't want to have to try to call a tow truck. Tow truck would cost you, well, more than you want to. So I recommend always changing your gear oils, and also do your wheel bearings. Keep everything nice and clean. It'll last longer that way. One of these days I'm going to do a video on my, I got a side-by-side, the Yamaha 1000 Wolverine. We're going to pull it in here. We're going to drain the oils, the front diff, rear diff, transmission, transfer case, motor. I don't think it really has any grease fitting, but that's another thing. When I get all this fluids and greases changed, I'm going to go around it and grease every grease fitting that I got. So, with that said, and this is my last screw, I will catch you on the next adventure. So, like always, go out there, do something. Doesn't matter how big or stressful it is, or how much fun. Just get out there and do something. Get out of your house. Don't sit there playing on your cameras or your video machine or your phone. Get out and do something. You're going to sit there and waste yourself away. This is Big Papa. I'll see you on my next adventure.